we're live.
Does it bother you? Oh, here we are. I was just about to ask if I should pull my phone and my pods off the table here. If it was making it look crowded and clunky, but whatever.
It's real life.
Here we are.
Looks
We're
good.
live. What's up, guys? We're here. It's episode something. 16, I was going to say 15 of the Street Parking Coaches Roundtable. And today we thought it would be fun to just answer your questions. Now, we have gathered a bunch of questions from social media, from the Street Parking Members Facebook group, Instagram. I put it on my personal Instagram and got some interesting, but also some good questions. And hopefully those of you guys that are here live can ask your questions. We're going to prioritize the live questions. So if you're here and you've got questions, even if you ask them on one of the other platforms, put them in the comments so that we can answer them and talk about what you guys want to talk about. While you're doing that and while you're gathering your thoughts as we get started, I think Nicole, our official host back here, she's got like some rapid fire questions or something to kick this off. So let's get right into it.
All right, so first, this one is for you, Miranda. What is the next new street parking movement we will see programmed?
You know, you never know what the next new movement is. I'm trying to think if there's one coming up that we have filmed.
Stardusters.
That's not new. That's old now. That's like so old. I don't know. They just kind of come to me, and I'm not like trying to make movements just for like entertainment purposes. I think that like, hey, this could be cool and fun and a good full body movement. I try not to get too creative to the point where I'm doing it just to entertain myself or you guys, but TBD on that one.
So, Julian, this one's for you. Why did you become a coach, or what led you to working in the fitness industry?
I wasn't booking any jobs in acting, which was my goal when I moved to LA. No, I got a job when I was 18 as like a boot camp instructor, and it paid good at the time, well, at least I thought, for when I was 18 years old. And then, but yeah, there wasn't much happening in the acting world at that time. It's when I found CrossFit, and then that really I really enjoyed it. I've always been coaching people and then I didn't want to pay membership dues, so then I just offered my services as a coach. I paid for my L1, and then I got a free membership. Then I just trained all day, and then it just led to where we're at now.
Classic.
Jeb, this one is for you. Very high, important question. Pick one for life, sweet or savory?
Savory.
Alex, if you could be one animal, what would it be and why?
A dolphin, because they're smart and playful.
Good answer. Good answer. Miranda, if you weren't in the fitness industry, what do you think you'd be doing?
I actually went to school for interior design and fell into the fitness industry while I was in school. So probably something with that. I really like it.
Jeb, what is your favorite and least favorite movement?
Oh, man, that's a good question. It really depends on the day, but I would have to say favorite movement is either a front squat or a push-up. And my least favorite movement, I don't really have a least favorite movement. I guess maybe it's like a quarter. Oh, you know what it is? I just did it on a live the other day. It's those alternating V-ups.
Oh, man.
They crushed me.
They crushed you and Julian.
Terrible.
Julian, where do you see street parking in 5 or 10 years?
Wow, that was a really deep personal question. Oh man, see it changing as many lives as possible.
Nice.
Good answer. Good answer. And our last warm-up question, Miranda, why are you all so passionate about us?
I'm a touchy-feely person. I come from a big family and I care about people. And, I got into the fitness industry because there was more meaning behind it than what I was doing with interior design. And that's why I latched onto it. And now I'm just, maybe a little bit addicted to showing people that they can improve their lives much more than I think a lot of people think they can.
Nice. All right, let's move on to a question from the YouTubes. From Anna, are there any plans in the near future for a shift focus group for those of us who need a little help getting into consistency in workouts and nutrition?
Jeb just created a program that might answer that a little bit. You want to talk about that, Jeb?
Sure. Yeah, we created a on-ramp program, and I could tell you the basics. It's a 12 session long program. And the idea is that you do 3 sessions a week, so it takes 4 weeks. You will be doing actual shift workouts, but with a little bit more guidance than you might find if just following the shift programming. And the whole goal is to basically be able to make sure that you are confident to transition from the on-ramp program to shift, or maybe even some customized program A. But we put a lot of work into it. I'm really proud of it. I think it's going to be really great.
All right. How do you combat negative talk from people who don't work out? So they don't ever have any injuries, but when you have an injury or two, they'll say, "We'll see what working out does." So I guess just in general, how do you combat negative talk, Miranda?
To be honest, I think because I've been doing this for so long, to me personally, people don't come at me with that kind of vibe. Like, is my sibling going to tell me to stop working out after like 20 years or something like that? You know what I mean? But we see it a lot, and we see it in our members group a lot. People who their coworkers give them a hard time for working out, or they're like, "Oh, you're sore all the time. Like, what are you doing to yourself? Why are you doing this?" Choose your hard. Choose your discomfort. When you're 20 years old, you can talk smack all day long about your friends who work out. When you're 40, if you have not taken care of your health, not taken care of your body, not maintained mobility and strength, you will be the one that is hurting. Like, at some point, you got to choose which lifestyle that you want. And we don't all get to live comfortable our whole life and just float around and never have aches and pains. Your aches and pains are going to come from either having a very full active life, or they're going to come from sitting on the couch. But they're going to come. So you might as well choose the one that gives you the best health possible.
Yeah, I would say too, like, don't spend a lot of energy trying to change the people that have the negative attitude about it. You're going to find more pleasure in helping the people that are more open to change. And I think, we deal with that all the time, right? Where we can try to preach our message to people that don't want to hear it, and it's not going to go anywhere. But the people that actually want to hear it, it's going to change their lives a lot more, and you're going to feel a lot better about it. So just focus on the people that actually want help.
Nice. I'm going to direct this one towards Alex. Alex Mauricio wants to know if it is sometimes okay to sacrifice intensity in order to gain strength. For example, when he works out with 35-pound dumbbells, he crushes the goals, but when he moves with 40s, he dies.
I think it'll go back to his goals. Did you say Mauricio?
Yes.
Yeah, if he has a goal of getting stronger, then I think it's absolutely fine to bias a heavier load and forego intensity. I think it's important to keep in mind, we've said this before, but we do write workouts in a methodical way, and we have a purpose behind each of them. So consistently disregarding the goal, I think, means that we can't guarantee that what we are providing to you is what we mean for it to be. So yeah, I think it's fine though. And I would say maybe go back and forth, and he could customize by reducing the reps and still keep the goal in mind and keep the intensity high. And again, just bias that heavier load, but absolutely, that's perfectly fine. Fitness freedom.
Nice. Fitness freedom. Okay, this one is for you, Julian, from Christopher. Who comes up with all the content? It is hilarious, and it seems like it's genuine, or are you all amazing actors?
I don't know if I'm ready to release that answer quite yet. They're going to have to stay tuned to find out how it all comes up. But I think me and Miranda, we sit down over dinner, and we just talk about real life scenarios that happen in the office, and then we just really take it up a level, make it relatable to a lot of people for sure. 'Cause we all know that all those scenarios are pretty true. Mhm.
All right, Jeb, this one is for you from Jess. What's your elevator pitch for signing someone up for street parking?
Jeb's like, how many floors we got?
Yeah, how tall is this building? As far as an elevator pitch, I would say this is the most effective and most time efficient way that you can reach a really high level of fitness and have the support of a lot of people that really care about your success.
Good answer.
Nice.
All right, Miranda, this one is for you. From Melissa, how do you deal mentally and physically with your pregnant/postpartum journey? Melissa's 29 weeks pregnant with her first and having a hard time mentally with the changes and limitations.
Yeah, this is a tough one. And I'm not even going to act like it was easy for me, and I don't know many people that it has been easy for, especially if you're used to a certain level of fitness or like a fitness lifestyle. I do know some people who just love being pregnant. I wasn't one of those people for sure. It was honestly easier mentally, not physically necessarily, but easier mentally the second time, because first I had the confidence that I would feel like myself again at some point after having Knox. I knew that I had achieved that. So the second time through, I wasn't as worried about that. And then the second time also, I had the appreciation of how special what my body was doing was. It was really hard for me to feel that when I had been so used to being a certain way for so long, and I identified as looking a certain way and moving a certain way and feeling a certain way, that I think I wasn't able to appreciate my pregnancy as much the first time as I was the second time. So just know, first of all, that what you're going through is normal. It is hard. But it's also so powerful and so beautiful, and try not to let how you might think you look in the mirror or worries about if you're going to ever feel like yourself again. Try not to let that steal this moment, because it's something that you're not going to be able to get back, and you should try to connect with your body and your baby as much as possible while you're in this stage. It's not forever. It feels like forever when you're in it, but it's not.
All right, this one is for you, Alex, from Mata. Why is something better than nothing?
I feel like I feel like that's self-explanatory. So I'm trying to figure out how best.
She has a shirt on.
I think that something can be built upon. If I wanted to build a house, maybe I have to start with a foundation. I'm not trying to build the house, every part of the house at once, which I think we try to do maybe. Like, we just want the house to be resurrected. Rome wasn't built in a day. Like, when I have something that I can build from, even if it's just a little small thing, it's something there to build on. If I never get started, then I never get started. And all progress is progress. So yeah, I can either stand still or I can take baby steps. One is going to get me somewhere. The other one is not. So
yeah, I think it's like the example that I give a lot of times with like the toothbrushing thing, right? Like, what's better, not brushing your teeth at all or brushing them for 10 seconds? Like, neither one of them are the best toothbrush experience you've ever had in your life. Like, we've all gone into the bathroom at the airport and just washed our armpits, and like, you know what I mean? I mean, maybe that's just me because of the travel that I used to do.
I have as well.
You know what I'm saying? Like, is that better than just not doing anything at all when it's been 3 days since you've showered? Absolutely. And I think whenever we look at anything else that has to do with our body or like hygiene, it makes total sense. But for some reason, when it comes to fitness, people have a hard time linking that. Like it has to be like a full spa treatment shower or nothing, and that's just it. That's not true.
This one's for Julian. For those who don't eat vegetables regularly, what are your favorite / easiest vegetables to eat?
I've found that I've actually cycled through them even currently. I went through a phase where I was just, we were doing bell peppers and like fajita veggies, fresh fajita veggies every time because those get really soggy quickly after, a day. Just with salt and pepper and lime, those work out really well. And then recently we've been on, get a stir fry mix from just any grocery store will have them because I know this because Safeway, Fred Meyer, like they all have this. It's a combination of Brussels, broccoli, carrots, green beans, cabbage. That's 5 veggies, and literally just put avocado oil spray on the pan, put the veggies in there, spray the top, get some salt bay it, and then, squeeze lime on top. Like those flavors universally work with so many, many different meat combinations that you can think of. So just go back and forth between those two, honestly. Don't be afraid to throw in some fresh ones like cucumber. Just go by how you feel. Just have fun with it.
And I like those ones too because they're shredded and cut up small, so they cook super fast. Like I can have my food in the microwave for like 2 minutes and be like sauteing some of the shredded veggies at the same time, and they'll finish like super fast.
Yeah, I would highly encourage you guys to sometimes I feel like meal prepping, depending on how you do it, can set you up for failure because then you get so discouraged by reheating up a meal that becomes exhausting, and then you don't look forward to eating the stuff you prepped, and then because you don't have anything else prepped, then you go back to old habits. That's just the other side of meal prepping, right? There's obviously the exception of people that can hold to it. But if you set yourself up for success by, having those veggies like the stir fry ones that can prep within the matter of minutes that you put food in the microwave, you're always going to look forward to eating your meals. And it doesn't take that long. Like, slow down enough so that you can take 2 to 3 minutes to enjoy your meal. So.
All right, Jeb, this one is for you. There's a lot of people here on this panel who might do fitness with their significant others. Do you have any words of encouragement for those who maybe don't exactly enjoy the same type of fitness or exercise to work out with each other?
Are you implying that Jeb doesn't like working out with Carolina?
Not at all. I just figured it's his turn.
So the question is, how do you work out with somebody that doesn't want to do the same type of workout as you?
Yeah, maybe you don't enjoy the exact same type of workouts or the exact same type of equipment, but you're looking to get that time with your spouse or significant other.
I think that's going to depend on your significant other. I know that if I want to spend time with Carolina, then we could be working out or we could be doing something else. The point is that we're spending time together. The point is not that I am trying to do the workout that I want to do and put all my attention on that. This makes me think of I was reading in a book last night.
Like I said, perfect question for Jeb.
It doesn't matter what you're doing. It matters how much of you is doing it. So if you're just like doing something, and it's like you're not there and you're not there for the reason that you think you should be there, or, if the problem is, like I said, your partner, if your workout partner doesn't want to be doing the workout that you want to be doing, well, you've got 2 choices. Either you don't do it, or you make the choice, hey, I want to be spending time with my partner right now, so I'll do what they want to do. But trying to convince them to do what you want to do and enjoy it is really, really hard. And at that point, it's like you just kind of have to manage your expectations because you're just kind of setting yourself up for a little bit of disappointment.
Or just do 2 different workouts in the same room. Like we do that all the time. I mean, we had like 4 different workouts going on in the garage with our group half the time, and that's cool too.
All right, this one is for Miranda and Julian. How did you guys meet the other coaches? Coach Alex, Seb, Jeb, Carolina, Maisie. Where did all of these people come together and how?
That's a Miranda one.
Okay, so
What happened was
Remember.
I know because, and I've said it many times, I'm not good at stretching and stuff like that. When we lived in California, before I was pregnant, I did some yoga, which I really enjoyed going to yoga classes. And so one of my random ideas that just pops up, and everybody who works here can attest, we should have like some yoga videos that people can do, because a lot of people were doing some other online programs and paying extra for it and that kind of thing. So I think randomly again, I put on Facebook, hey, do we have any yoga instructors like that are members? And Carolina was a member, and she was like, yeah, I do yoga. So we sent Frank, which if you're an OG member, you know who that is, down when he was in LA to Carolina's class. And he said she was awesome. And so we invited them up here to make some yoga videos. Thought it was going to be like a one-time thing where we filmed 10 videos or whatever. And then that's it. If members had questions, they could answer it. And then it turned into this whole thing. And we really loved them when they came up. And I thought they were going to be super over the top like yogis, and they weren't. They were also like pretty cool. So, it worked out really well. Alex, she sent me a video where she was talking about street parking, and she wasn't super active in the community because she worked at a gym. Like, she was a full-time coach at a gym. So she wasn't trying to have conflicting messages happening. But the video that she sent me, I was like in tears at the end of it, because she said how much street parking meant to her. And I was like, we got to get this chick on the team. Coach Maisie was just a member who was super active on social media, and I loved her vibe, and I knew that she'd done some personal training in her garage. And that's how we found her. Seb reached out to me because he was deployed, and he was trying to do a Thanksgiving Day competition. I can't remember. I know he was in the Middle East. I can't remember exactly where he was, and asked me to program it for them. And so I programmed their Thanksgiving Day competition, and that's how I got a relationship with Seb. And then when he came home, we've just stayed in touch. And so, yeah.
right on. All right, Alex, how could someone start doing the endurance workouts? For right now, the length looks a little intimidating.
Yeah, so first off, you can jump in wherever. So I know like all of the accessories they are like named by week. So we get that question pretty often, like, do I have to start at week 1? And you don't. As far as customizing the workout goes, my general recommendation is to cut the time and or distance in half, and start there. And if you feel like, oh, that wasn't, I could totally handle that, it was totally manageable, then you can always increase. But yeah, I mean, I think it's a very clear cut. If it's 6 rounds, you could go down to 3, or each individual like distance effort can be reduced, however you want to go about it. But for sure, just lower the barrier to entry to whatever will allow you to do something instead of nothing.
Julian, how often do you take a rest day?
Twice a week. I'll go Thursday and Sundays, and that actually has been pretty religious for a while now, if I can think back on it. I'm also not afraid, depending on, because there's days or weeks that there's been a lot of projects that just stack up. I'm also not afraid to take an extra rest day if needed, just because like I'm at a point now where I know that I'm just gonna get back on track to what my routine is, right? Or I'm not afraid to shift rest days if it doesn't align with my 3 on, 1 off, 2 on, 1 off. If I am finding myself being extremely stressed out one day and I still haven't got my workout in like on a Tuesday, then I won't work out on Tuesday and I'll just work out on Thursday. So I'm also not afraid to just juggle things around, just because I know how to structure that and not overcomplicate it and just do it. Again, it's easier said than done. You just got to know that you're going to get back on track.
All right, Jeb, this one is for you from Mindy. She works out with her mom, who is 72. She works out with her 5 days a week, and she's very athletic. However, she worries sometimes. Are there certain movements that are no-nos for her mother?
I don't know. It really depends. There's plenty of people in their 70s and 80s that can do pretty much everything. And then there's some that have all kinds of joint replacements and should probably be avoiding certain movements. So I would say if she's in good health and she's been cleared by her doctor or some medical professional, then she's probably fine doing most movements. But what I would encourage is that obviously the level of intensity and the degree of technical difficulty probably needs to be adjusted for her ability level. For example, a box jump. You might be doing, Mindy, a 20-inch box jump. Your mom should just be doing like a stack of plates or a 12-inch box or something like that. But I think that one really common myth or misunderstanding is that, older folks should be avoiding high impact movements or things that are taking their joints through big ranges of motion. And that's not necessarily the case. In fact, like as you get older, you start to lose bone density. That's a really big one. And then if you fall, you break your bone, and then you're in, your life, your quality of life changes drastically after that. Well, bone density can be maintained and improved by impact and by load. So if she's resistance training and she is doing some amount of jumping type movements, and she's not overdoing it, then that actually can preserve her longevity in a big way.
Excellent. All right, Miranda, this one's for you. Might be a little bit difficult to answer, but we'll try. Molly, with an IE, would like to know why people are so miseducated with fitness and nutrition. So many people think they need to eat less to lose weight, or they need to have that magic fat burn powder. Why is that? Society?
Yeah, I think I kind of like get pretty sarcastic about this stuff on my personal Instagram. Magic fat burn being an example. Fitness is a business. So it has to be confusing so that we have to pay people to tell us what to do, right? And it constantly has to change so that there's new things to buy. If in school somehow we could educate our children at 6 years old, the types of things that we're trying to educate our members right now, they would have the knowledge and that they needed to not be tricked by all these companies trying to sell them things. So there's a lot of play on insecurity for people where it's like, oh, like you feel bad about this part of your body, or you want this lifestyle, or you want to be like this person. Like, this is a product that you can buy. It's not a habit that you need to form. It's not a mindset that needs to shift. It's you give me this amount of money and this product is going to deliver this. It's all a business. And there are so many conflicting messages for that reason. And then the other reason is too, the human body is very complex. And so there'll be a study done where they're looking at one specific thing that's happening in your body when you eat this one specific thing. And then based on that one study, they say like, oh, this is the way we should be eating because of this one tiny little thing that we looked at, and they not blow it out of proportion, but they don't look at how that plays into your whole system. And a whole diet book will be created based off of one study on one small thing. So our bodies are complex, and people tend to overcomplicate it or focus on the minutia instead of how we're working as one whole unit. And then, of course, it's all a big sales pitch at the end of the day.
Which is unfortunate because we have conversations about this often, how it feels like there's like a movement going on social media of the complete opposite now, of people just almost feeling angry at the fact that this is what their idea of fitness is, almost holding them back from actually achieving a healthy lifestyle based off of how they've been marketed to. Mm-hmm. And it's really sad because you see it. People are rebelling. They are now taking this body positivity movement to a whole extreme where you're kind of like, no, don't go that far into that. Like health is not aesthetically tied to a look, that it could be a measure, but not the way that the industry pushes it to be, and I think we need to kind of wrangle. We at Street Parking want to be that, the realness needed out there. It may not be as entertaining or as sales driven as most companies, but We know the truth and we want to keep it that way. Just like anything, I feel like in life, you need to find that person with that right mindset and have be rational about the situations and understanding in order for change to actually happen. And it just sucks, right? Because you see people dancing around, and jiggling away, eating a donut, and like all this, and be like, f this culture, f this, and they're angry. They're really, really angry at how fitness has been portrayed to be, and you're just like, dang, I wish you would have received a different message as to what health and fitness actually looks like. Because at some point, the Grim Reaper does come knocking at your door the older you get, and if you do not take care of yourself, it's a long-term effect that really catches up to you, and the only person you have to answer to is yourself at that point. You can't blame anybody for that. And we're hoping that, like I said, with us being clear and honest and not being cheesy about things, we just continue to encourage people to just enjoy a healthy lifestyle.
Yeah, it is super important, and people should be mad. Like people that have been talked into these cleanses and these like super low calorie, complete, food group elimination diets, and these like trying to work out for hours and hours upon days, or for hours and hours every day, injured, exhausted. People are like losing hair, and they're unhealthy, and they're still not seeing the results, and they're still being told that they should look a certain way. They should be mad, and I totally get the rebellion. What's unfortunate is that street parking is seen, or other programs. There are other programs and types of nutritional approaches, or people on social media, influencers or whatever, coaches, who their message is awesome. The problem is that because people are so angry, as soon as they see someone working out or suggesting a different way of eating, they have this like repulsion from it. Like, oh my gosh, this is just diet culture again. Like, I don't even want to do it, and it's unfortunate that it's all kind of sucked into one bubble, and that it can't be seen as like hey, this is a lifestyle approach. We're not trying to change who you are or make your life harder or make you fit a certain mold. And it's unfortunate that it's all kind of in one pot, and we're trying to show that doesn't have to be that way.
All right, this one is for Alex. What's your favorite social media platform?
Instagram. Yeah, I like being able to DM with the members and just post about my life. Yeah.
All right, Miranda, other than dumbbells, what's your favorite piece of gym equipment?
My favorite piece of gym equipment, I really enjoy the sandbag. And I don't know if it's because it's still the most novel to me based on how long I was like in a CrossFit setting for. But I really do enjoy a sandbag. In fact, I was just talking to Alex earlier about how I might change the deadlifts in tomorrow's workout to a heavy D-ball sandbag and throw it over my shoulder, because once again, fitness freedom.
Switch it up. All right, Jeb, what activities or sports do you enjoy outside of the gym?
Well, to be honest, it's been a crazy last year and a half. So I have not been doing much outside of what is work related, right? Doing street parking workouts or making up my own workouts. Obviously, yoga is something that I do outside of the gym, but I also do it in the gym. And I'm really excited to actually go to an in-person yoga class for the first time in like 2 years today, which is going to be awesome. And my next thing to get back into would be jiu-jitsu, because I was doing that, and then we had a baby and we moved, and then COVID hit and everything shut down. And so I haven't rolled for like, probably close to 2 years. So that would be my next thing that I'm really excited about.
Remember when we used to ball up with Frank? Do we need to ball up again?
I think we should.
Man, we have a good crew now.
Julian, what's something that you focused on in the past that did not pay off towards reaching your goals?
Every woman I dated.
Good answer.
Nice.
Right, Miranda?
Were you really focused though? Like, how much focus was it?
Oh man. To be completely honest, I think women was my biggest distraction because I think I was trying to fill an empty void that I had. And because with acting, like it's one of those industries that you tie yourself to have a purpose to it, but it's like winning the lottery. It almost feels like, to be honest, with that industry, and there's a lot of denial. There's a lot of self questioning, and then so you're having to find like odd jobs. Luckily, I found fitness, and it kept me really in shape and healthy, and sane. But I had no focus when it came to anything else, right? And I had, the opportunity. I didn't like reading. I didn't like doing it, and I had plenty of time. Let me tell you. But I think that was one of the biggest distractions for me, for sure.
What would you say is something that did pay off towards reaching your goals?
Well, finding the right woman, because it's true. You go through this phase of like having blank and meaningless relationships, and like when you find somebody that you really vibe with, you push each other, and then you grow together, and then you challenge each other, and it's just like a give and take, and then you grow as an individual. And I think that's what was needed for sure. Because in the past ones, we've had conversations currently where like I look back and I didn't even know the person I was dating yet. We were with each other for either a year or multiple years, and I didn't even know them. And they never really pushed me, and vice versa. And it was just all for show at that point, for sure.
Well, isn't that sweet? Miranda, this one is for you. Benefits. What are the benefits of doing workouts in the order they are programmed? Pros and cons of switching the week up.
Yeah, so like Alex mentioned, there is, a lot of people might look at the workouts and not see a rhyme or reason to them, but I can promise you that there's a lot of thought that goes into them and a lot of discussion between myself, Alex, and Jeb weekly for sure. And we do program them in an order specifically. And I think where a lot of confusion with that comes is they're like, well, my legs are sore from yesterday. We don't so much look at the movements necessarily as a body part, but a function. So a great example of this would be like a deadlift and a squat are both going to tax your legs, but it's in a very different way. So like neurologically, it's going to be different. You're going to be sore in a little bit of a different area. It's going to break down the muscle in a little bit of a different way. So they are put in order with all of those things considered, and they are put in an order when it comes to the type of workout or the intensity or the length per round, where maybe on Monday there's a workout that's just a 20-minute AMRAP and you're moving for 20 minutes. And then Tuesday, I know people have started calling Tuesdays terrible Tuesdays because they feel like the Tuesday workouts are worse than Mondays.
Same.
Where it might be more of like an interval style where you're working for 3 minutes and then you're resting for 1 minute and you're working for 3 minutes. And then, so all of that stuff is mapped out. But I will say that street parking workouts are, I don't want to say always, because that I don't like to blanket statement like that. In general, street parking workouts are not so high volume that if you do them in an order that's not the order we intended, that you're going to like mess yourself up. You might not be able to hit the workout as hard if you take them out of order. You might be more sore in a certain area than we intended you to be if you go out of order, but you're not going to do anything wrong. Like you're not going to screw it up. So don't feel like if you need to do them out of order because of time constraints, equipment, whatever, that you're doing something wrong necessarily.
All right, Alex, if you already have a rower, what would be your next big equipment purchase? A bike, a runner, or a ski erg?
I would say a bike because we program for it. So I think that's one good reason. But also, I don't know of anything else that quite packs a punch like the bike does, or like helps to develop like quad stamina. And yeah, it's the least fringe piece of equipment, I feel like, of the three that you listed.
All right, Jeb, do you think that time under tension is really the most effective way to build muscle, even with suboptimal loading?
I don't know that I would say it's the most effective way to build muscle. As Miranda just said, not a good idea to make blanket statements, but it is a very good way to do that. Take the dumbbell strength program, for example. If you've tried it, you'll know. If you haven't tried it, I highly recommend you try a couple of those sessions because it is a completely different animal than getting under a heavy barbell and repping out some heavy reps. Spending a minute or more under tension doing 6 really slow squats or lunges, it's very, very potent. So I think that time under tension with a suboptimal load is a very effective way to build strength.
Jed, this is your opportunity to tell the dumbbell strength people to slow down.
Yes, I've been watching some people sharing their videos doing the dumbbell strength program. First of all, hats off to you for trying it and for doing it. What I've seen is that nobody is moving slow enough. You need to slow down. Really get comfortable being in that place, feeling the burn, fighting those areas where you want to just sink a little bit faster or bounce and get yourself a little momentum. Slow down.
All right, this one is for Miranda and Julian. This was on Miranda's personal page, but what are you and Julian most proud of since starting street parking?
I would say the people in this room, the growth that we've seen in the team, the way that the team has come together. And that's not to say that like we always nail it or that we always get along and that there haven't been growing pains and that there's not going to continue to be. But I think what I'm proud of is the way that everybody works together and the way that we've been able to piece together this like ragtag group of people and have it work, you know? It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, I would agree with that as well. You know, we're proud of a lot of the members in the community, but our day to day is this group, right? And being able to kind of one of the things that I always hated in any work environment that I was in, I was never pushed and challenged the way that I felt like allowed me to grow as an individual. And, you know, there was always like being told, no, you can't do that. It actually made me really, really angry. And it made me feel insecure about myself. And so that's one of the things I never, ever wanted to create in this culture here, and to see and to try my best to make sure that, you know, we try our best to make sure that always happens, and to see the people that have developed and felt empowered and just evolved as individuals has been really, really, really cool to see. So in seeing that, it just kind of shows us that, oh, thank goodness, like we've been creating an environment that allows people to grow and to have confidence in themselves. And that truly is how you end up creating a good culture that's sustainable and enjoyable to be around, where people can just be themselves.
All right. I was thinking we could do the giveaway where I could scroll back here. And
Oh, yeah,
one of
okay.
you guys could say stop and we could do those
Okay.
2 giveaways.
I'll do it.
Are you ready?
Yeah, tell me when, are you going?
I'm going.
Stop.
All right. We have Anna Coronado. So Anna, send us an email at support@streetparking.com and we will get that for you. And then one more.
Stop.
We have Mindy Hawthorne. So Anna and Mindy both won a street parking little swag gift card. So send us an email at support@streetparking.com and we'll hook you up.
Can we throw a little something in there for Mindy's mom?
Heck yes. Throw something in there for Mindy's mom.
Nice. I mean, honestly, you know, good if you guys want to close this out, or if there's a couple
Yeah.
more.
What do you got, Nicole? Are you good with? Have you gotten through the questions you were trying to get through?
I was through the ones I'm trying to get to. I could throw some more in there. There's questions on questions all the time, but we can do like 1 or 2 more if you're ready.
Hit
Yeah,
us each
go
with
for it.
one more. Hit us each with one more.
Okay. Let's go with Alex. There's a lot of talk about how just a pair of dumbbells can maintain your fitness level. Coach Molly just posted about this today. But what if you didn't start with a high level of fitness? Is that one pair of dumbbells really enough to build fitness, or are they just a tool to maintain what you started with?
Wow, that is a great question. I can't speak to that from experience because that hasn't been my experience. It has been a way to maintain a fitness that I think I built from having access to a lot of equipment. But I still, from what I see in the community, from what members have shared with me, I still believe that a dumbbell and or a pair of dumbbells is everything you need to really express your potential. And if you need an extra level, like if you have reached a certain point and you want to get stronger, Street Parking has a dumbbell strength program now, and like Jeb was speaking to it, it's incredibly effective. So maybe you can't become a professional athlete with a pair of dumbbells, but for any, I think, normal person looking to achieve a relatively high level of fitness, a pair of dumbbells is all you need.
Right on. This one is for you, Jeb. How many times a week do you add things like maintenance or stretching? And what is the minimum time you should spend on it? I think my biggest struggle is maintenance and stretching, but as I get older and the muscles aren't as limber, I probably need to be sure I'm including it often enough.
So there's really a couple of questions in there. How much I do it, I'll tell you, but it's basically irrelevant. I try to do maintenance 4 to 5 times a week. I do that because I enjoy it, because I like it, because it's what I've done, and so it's easy for me to maintain consistency. How much you should be doing it is each time, for how long, the amount of time that you can do it consistently. So if it's 5 minutes, 4 to 5 times a week, then that's amazing. But if you are trying to set a goal, and if I tell you like, oh, you got to do 20 minutes for it to be effective, and you can only do 20 minutes once a week, well, then that's probably not going to do as much for you as if you could do 10 minutes 2 to 3 times a week, right? So think about, I think frequency is probably more important than duration. So if you can do something, if you feel like you're tight and you need to improve your flexibility and your mobility, honestly, you should probably be doing something 3 to 4 times a week. Hopefully, if you're warming up properly, that's included in there, or you're cooling down properly, and maybe you take a little bit more time on a rest day or a day that you have a little bit more time. But as far as how long you should be doing it for, seriously, set the bar so low that you cannot fail. And then over time, as you get more consistent, you'll be able to do it for longer. And the reason why you'll be able to do it for longer is because you will want to do it for longer, because you are feeling the effects of it. And when you want to do something, you will make time to do it. So just start with the minimum amount that you know you can stick to.
All right, Julian, do you have any tips for pushing yourself while working out alone? Susan says that when she works out with others, she finds she can push herself a lot harder, but has a much more difficult time doing it alone. She stops more, she moves more slowly.
Yeah, I mean, there's even times when we're working out with a group and I just don't feel motivated, right? So what I do to kind of just overcome that hurdle is just get started. It's not the greatest approach, but it does work for me just because I have experience and my ability as an athlete. I kind of take the first couple, like, if a round workout, then I'll take the first couple rounds as like a warm-up round, and I'll literally do, like a box jump. What most people would do as a warm-up is kind of how I approach the first couple rounds, and not worry about intensity so much, more of quality of movement. And then once I feel my body warm, then I'm kind of in it at that point, and it's easy for me to kind of turn on this intensity damper for the back end of the workout to close it out and feel like I got a really, really good workout in. So that's kind of what I do. Again, depending on you as an individual, I do recommend warming up, of course, but just start. And then don't feel the pressure to have the whole workout be intensity. Just have it more of, I'm going to focus on my quality of movement, and then close it out with a bang.
That's one of the reasons that we give the goal times and stuff like that as well, so that you have something to shoot for, so that you're not just like left like, oh, well, it's a 15-minute AMRAP, and whether I move super slow and do 1 rep every 45 seconds or go super hard the whole time. Like it's still going to be done in 15 minutes. Like what's my motivation here? So we like to give those goals. The other thing you can do that I know a lot of street parking members do with the vault workouts is go ahead and turn your computer on and put the live on, and then we're just right there with you, and you can kind of do it with us.
All right, last question, Miranda. What is a good solid tip for staying consistent when your day has been severely thrown off in terms of routine?
Yeah, so how to stay consistent when you've had a hard day, a bad day, your schedule gets messed up, your plans get messed up. Doesn't always necessarily have to be like some big dramatic thing. It just could just be just life happens, Jed, you know? Drop your expectations of what you need your workout to look like in order for it to be effective. It goes back again to that toothbrushing thing. Like you have a bad day, you still brush your teeth before you go to bed. Like it's just part of your day. You might not be excited about it. You might be a little bit lazier about it than you would have been. Maybe you don't floss. Maybe you do it, it's not as long as you normally would like or whatever. But like, it's just a part of your day. It doesn't need to be this, you shouldn't have these big expectations around what your score is going to be. And sometimes it is fun. Like we're about to retest all the vault workouts, right? And I know a lot of us are going to be like, hey, I'm going to try to PR the vault the second time around. And I know what I did last time. And then your day goes to crap on the day that you were planning on doing it. And you have options at that point. Can I lower the bar and be like, hey, I'm just going to do this workout again and I might not PR? Can you push through it and be like, no, screw that. I'm not going to let my day ruin how excited I was to do this workout? Or do you need to move that workout to another day, pick a different workout and say, I'm going to save that for a day where it's not so chaotic, because that does mean a lot to me. But really just drop your expectations. Just do the workout. Just go through the motions sometimes, and that's totally okay. And like Julian was just saying, a lot of times when you get started, you're fine. The day, all your stress and worries of the day might go away for a little bit. Fitness to me is very much like meditation, where I like to check out. And it's the one time where I'm feeling a certain way that I can't really think about my other problems, because my body's focused on keeping me alive and breathing. You know what I mean? Or maybe I'm focused on the technique of the movement or something like that. But I think the biggest thing is just to eliminate the expectations of what you thought it needed to be and just do it.
All right. That'll close out this week's episode. There was a lot of good questions, honestly, and it was enjoyable to, share our answers for that. We'll check in with you guys in a couple weeks. In the meantime, if you want to share this video with a friend, please do so. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We'll check in with you guys later. Bye-bye.